This is Gifts from the Muses, the podcast for all sorts of creatives. This show is for artists, by artists. We spend our time discussing different pieces of artworks of varying mediums and styles, featuring the artists. For our first episode, we have here today my dear friend Elizabeth Curran and her book, Someone in Some Future Time, a poetry collection, Reminiscences of an Amateur Wordsmith and World Ender, otherwise called a poet.
Very long title, yeah.
It's so long.
It's very long.
Firstly, would you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Elizabeth Curran, or everybody just knows me as Eliza. I am from Rhode Island, as I tend to often glaze Rhode Island, but I go to school in New Jersey at Stevens Institute of Technology. Anybody who is listening from Stevens, shout out you guys.
Yay.
That's who book 2 is about, because that's who I spend most of my time with now.
Book 2?
Oh, well, we'll get to that later.
Spoilers. All right.
Don't let that one get out.
All right. First and foremost, why name so long? What his name?
So name is so long. Let me just tell you this poetry collection, because it's nothing that I've written recently. This is the collection of all the poetry that I wrote while in high school. So starting from like when I started writing, my actual first poem I ever wrote is the first one in there.
Thief?
Yes. Which is why IMO, it's not great, but I decided to leave it in there for the bit of leaving it in there. Yeah, but it starts from there, and then it goes to literally a poem that I wrote the night before I left to go to Stevens for the first time and like left home. Aww. So it's just like that time in my life captured in all the little words.
That's crazy.
The title itself is a reference. I came up with the title and the subtitle, I think, in like early junior year. So they were not actually updated when I went to go publish. But I think that makes it more authentic. Yeah, the title is a Sappho reference, Someone in Some Future Time. Because she says that, I think, in the midst of other things. I would know that better when I actually wrote it, but it's been like 3 years now.
It's been long enough.
It's been a while. And as for the rest of the very long title,
well, first
ask me from 3 years ago.
Yeah, Someone in Some Future Time, Sappho, a poetry collection, self-explanatory.
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, and then Reminiscence of an Amateur Wordsmith and World Ender, otherwise called a poet.
Is that not awesome, though?
That is awesome.
That's a very cool, like, I don't know. I came up with that when I was writing, because I was like, I want to have a subtitle.
Yeah, that's important.
Assuming that,
technically, you have 2 subtitles, FYI. There are 2 of them.
This is true. It just happened that way. I'm going to be honest. I'm trusting younger me to know what younger me would have wanted out of this book.
Yeah.
So it's not like me going through the publishing process now is not like, what do I want? It's what did I create at that time?
Yeah. What did she want?
Let's be faithful to that version.
It's so much fun.
Yeah, that's my spiel for why it's so long.
That's because your old self wanted it to be long.
I couldn't stop writing things, so yeah, and that continues to be true.
Then, second question. Yay! Second question. Hi. What is up with all of the lowercase? Why is everything lowercased, including like anything from the title of the book to the title of the chapters, proper nouns?
So initially, sophomore year version of me was just because that's how I usually typed things. Like that was my predominant typing style, was I usually just didn't uppercase anything. I think it's because I thought it was really cool. But as I move through time now, I find myself very grateful that I did that, because it allows, when I do capitalize things, it puts a lot of importance there. Like it makes them like, I don't know. It's like, not the words in lowercase are also not important, but I think, of course, when you see a word that is capitalized now, you're like, whoa. Yeah. And I also get that, like if I'm writing something and I choose to make something capitalized, I'm like, okay, that's a big one. Yeah. This is something that is like very, very important in my head.
Yeah, I tend to actually do that a lot. Like, just in my normal writing, especially when I'm taking notes, it's just like, oh, like it could just be like, oh, the name of this theory should probably be capitalized. And then I can like bold it later.
Yeah.
Even just like sometimes I'm writing, it's just like, I notice I capitalize the word heart a lot. Where it's just like, for some reason, that's just like a very important word.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest shift, I don't know if people will notice this, and they might notice it more with the collection too, because that's where I get into this a lot more as I've been going through that. But the switch from, I used to not capitalize the word God very often or at all.
Mm-hmm.
And the switch to it now, like, it's something that I almost always capitalize, is kind of signaling a change in the way that I think about my faith. But guys, look out for book 2. It's gonna be crazy. This is gonna be deep lore. If anyone finds this, they'll be like, oh yes. These are things I'm like, I don't think anybody will notice this besides me. But
yeah, but like that's half the point.
I do think it's very interesting because I can just look at the actual like notation differences. I can be like, wow, I really have evolved.
Yeah, and I must ask, the only thing that I've just through skimming through most of the book, the only thing that I have found capitalized frequently is I, like the personal I. Yeah. Is that purposeful or is that just how you write?
Once again, initially that was just how I wrote, because seeing lowercase I bothered me. I was like,
all by its lonesome.
But I also think that in taking a romantics poet look at it, I think it does kind of also, you could say in a metaphorical sense, I have taken myself very seriously from the beginning.
Yes.
So I've always been very important to me, which is pretty awesome.
Ooh.
But the actual reason is just because I don't like how it looks lowercase. Like, I don't, that's just actually just wrong.
Yeah. Have you ever have you ever lowercased I in any of your writing?
I don't think so. And if somebody catches one,
fix it.
I can't now because it's out.
No, fix it.
Just there's like a slight problem. But if I try to look for those, and if you catch that, you didn't catch that. It was not intentional.
Yeah. Hey, chat. You didn't see that.
You did not see that. You if when this comes out physically, take your little pencil and fix it.
Of course.
In your digital version, I'll take your like Apple Pencil and fix it.
Yes. I will just like draw on my phone.
Yeah, I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, that was a whoopsie.
I should never be lowercased.
Yeah. The letter I by its lonesome.
If I ever write something where the whole poem has lowercase I,
that was intentional.
Then it's probably intentional. If it's a one-off, it was not. Just so you know.
Yeah. For future reference, anyone listening.
Any big fans out there.
You never know. People could be listening back to this at one point and just be like, "Ah, yes."
I'm gonna be honest. If that were to happen, I don't think that's gonna happen. If that were to happen, it would not happen. I doubt for anybody to really find this and be passionate about it. I just hope that somebody finds it and is like, "Oh, that's cool."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that leads me into another one of my questions. What made you want to make this into a book?
Okay, this is a good question. Because I just kind of have been writing poetry for a long time. And I think, I can't remember when I actually wanted to publish it. I think it was like beginning of senior year, was when I was like, maybe I could publish this. Maybe I could like put it out there. Because I think it's, I don't know, like I have this, first of all, it's just cool to have a published book.
Of course. I
just think that's, I don't know. Like I would like to, if it was physical, I would like to be able to hold it in my hands and it's something that I wrote. I'm like, that's pretty cool. Because I also see it as like a very visual, word-based like history of every emotion that I've ever felt and everything that I went through. Which is why I was like, if I ever stop writing, then it will literally be like, it's a problem. Because I will not be able to remember what was happening to me. But like there's really poems I'll look through and be like, wait, I actually just remember what inspired this, and it holds that memory there for me.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, there's actual like specific poems that I wrote about specific experiences, and I can never forget them and the emotions associated with them because I'll read it and be like, yeah, I know exactly what this is talking about, and I can remember it in so much more detail than my other memories. I also have this like vision of perhaps one day some like, because it's all my high school poetry, some like high schooler being like, oh, somebody else did this, so I can do this.
Yes.
You know, I think people should be creative more often, and that doesn't have to be through writing. I'm a big writing advocate because I think it does good things with your brain, and it forces you to think in ways you're not usually liking to think. But
yeah, but like artwork in any form.
I think people also associate writing with like English class, and they're like, I don't like doing that. I don't like doing my writing assignments. And I'm like,
that's not all that writing is.
yeah, but you have to fall in love with language, and it's very hard to do that through traditional education. But if you break out of it,
yeah, because also I think that there's a very big difference between creative writing and like what you end up doing a lot in school, which is more analytical and critical analysis.
even the creative writing for school, I'm going to be honest, I did not like it, because it felt very forced. Like obviously it was like, oh, let me use this as an opportunity to just write what I want, but
yeah,
it never like came from a genuine desire to create, which is why I kind of like I didn't like doing writing assignments as much. I think I've written great things for English classes, and I've been passionate about the things that I have delivered on, but the act of doing it not out of my own free will,
yeah,
just kind of sucks a little bit out of the joy of doing it.
yeah. It's kind of like when you have the difference between the feeling of coming up with your own idea and being told to do that idea. It's a very different feeling, and that's kind of more important.
I think writing in spite of that, though, like writing for fun in spite of writing being something you have to do for an assignment a lot, is important, because it keeps you, like, first of all, like, if you're not writing for assignments, then you neglect to do it on your own time, then you're just not writing.
Yeah.
So writing for assignments at a minimum is good, but then the art of finding passion in it anyway,
Yeah.
is really cool.
Yeah. Finding love and joy in the day-to-day things is very important.
I would like, yeah. So I guess the long, really roundabout way of answering your question is I would like to find some little high schoolers who are maybe like, I don't know how to deal with my emotions. Maybe I should go to therapy. I'm like, no, you don't need to go there. You don't need to go there. What do you need to do? You need to sit down with your little notebook in the middle of the woods and make something.
That's one hell of a way to live.
It does not have to make sense, but I literally promise everything that you write that you're like, this does not make any sense at all. Like, this isn't coming from anywhere. Like, I don't know what any of this means. It will make sense. The universe will put something in your path that you're like, dude, that's what it was all about. Because it's happened to me so many times. I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. Like what's going on in my head? Do I need to go to the hospital? Like this is kind of crazy. I don't like this imagery. What's going on here? And then I'll like meet somebody, or I'll like have an interaction. I'm like, oh, that's what it was trying to tell me. Yeah.
Though I must say, as someone who goes to therapy, no harm in doing both.
Okay. I will not hate on therapy for the general population.
But if you've got the art brain in you,
I'm just saying that. How do I not sound like evil when I say this?
I hate mental health.
Therapy is important because it gives you a lot of coping mechanisms. It gives you a lot of like practical ways to deal with your problems. And also like it gives you a space where you can talk about things with a person who is a professional.
Yeah.
However, like it won't fix you.
No.
And the fixing, I think, comes from doing that kind of talking about it with an element of like analysis, or like an element of creating something from it, because you're not going to get past it, you're going to get through it.
Yeah.
There's no way out but through is my favorite little saying at the moment. You have to you have to create something to make it make sense, because it's not going to do that on its own. And no other person, as much as they might help you find methods to do that, is not going to do that for you either.
Yeah. Now, how I see it in any, like, whether you're working through things yourself or with another person, you got to put in the work.
Yeah, I think, unfortunately, a lot of society sees therapy as this kind of like, well, oh, you're struggling, go here and fix it.
Yeah.
Which I think that's incorrect, and I think it leads to a lot of people also going into therapy positions for the money of it all, because you can just make money off of people having issues. But I don't know. Oh, wait, I lost my train of thought. Okay. But yeah, that was a really good train of thought. I just lost it. I'm really mad.
No, but like therapy.
Yeah. I think it has a purpose, especially for people who are struggling with something we would consider societally to be like a condition. I think it's very helpful to have somebody on your side when you feel like nobody is. Like, this is a professional person who has seen this before and is experienced in this, because unfortunately, like, some people, when they have recurring kind of problems, you can't always turn to your friends or your family with the same issues, because they're offering you solutions that don't work, and they're not professionals. So it's helpful to have a professional opinion, but they're not going to do the work for you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, unfortunately, being happy does require work. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. It does require work. But if you find something fun and right or something like that, it becomes work that is really rewarding. I can't say always fun, but it's really rewarding.
Yes. I think that's more important.
And I encourage people to be artistic about that whole process, because then you can kind of look at it as a record of, like, look at how far I've come. Look at where the places that I've been.
Yes.
That's really cool. They contribute to me as a story.
No, and that's why I love art forms so much, any form of art, because, like, of course, you have your writing. I have done a fair bit of drawing in my life, but I've also talked to Cameron, who I did my interview with for my assignments.
Yeah.
But he's a filmmaker, so it's a very different perspective on things, but fundamentally, it's still an art form.
And I've met a lot of people at Stevens who do this through music as well.
Oh, music is a big one.
It's just really cool. Like, sorry guys, I'm gonna glaze again. Every single musician I've met at Stevens, except for Skylar, but Stevens people will know who that is. Don't avoid at all costs. Yeah, but every single, like, one of my friends that I found that also does music. Let me shout out real quick. This guy James Hooker. I took you to one of his concerts.
You did?
This is Mr. Beast Death 2030 and Zer. James is one of my favorite brains in the history of all brains. I love the way his brain works. Yeah, sorry, not to glaze James, but I do this all the time. I'm like, please go listen to this guy's music on Bandcamp. It's not on Spotify.
Of course.
Yeah, go listen to Zer. Go listen to Mr. Beast Death. Go listen to Schwank, because that was a Stevens band. He makes really, really weird music, and it's so unbelievably good.
Yes.
Yeah,
no, I was at that concert.
That
is the concert that you took me to, and it was really cool.
It is really cool. And then I go and I'm like, hi James, hi.
That was an experience more than anything. I think that's very important.
Yeah, and I don't know. I've seen him a couple times since. I was just like, I don't know. Ideal situation, if this did not cause any harm, I would love to take his brain and put it on a table and pick it apart and see how it works. Yes. Because it's so interesting.
Yes. There are certain people where it's just like, oh, you need to go under a microscope.
Yeah. I mean, actually, he showed me jameshooker.com, the GitHub. So that's been my writing inspiration actually recently, because the way he writes about things, I want to not steal it, but I like the way he writes. Inspiration. jameshooker.com, guys, go look at this. It might be hard to find. It's actually it's a little bit difficult, but reach out to me. I have the link. I want to glaze this guy.
Yes. All right. So how often do you write? Like, is this like a daily thing?
I wish, because I think that would be more honest, like, how am I doing day to day, like a more accurate, like, memory capsule. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's not how it happens. It's very, like, good. It fluctuates a lot. I remember in high school, I used to always say, like, if I write more than 3 or 4 poems in a week, it was a bad week, which was typically indicative of, a bad week. Because I used to write poetry more when I was struggling, and now it's kind of morphed into, it's been morphing into for a while. I think something I just do at all times. But yeah, it really only comes, unfortunately now, it comes when I have space in my head that is not filled with physics homework due, circuits homework due, like the list of the absolutely egregious amount of tasks that I have to do in my week. So usually I tend to write as a result of that on a Friday or a Saturday, but whenever I feel that I haven't written in a while, or if I just like feel more unstable than usual, or if I just like if they've just been cooking in my head for too long, I'll just like I'll throw something out.
So most of your writing comes from struggle more than easy contentment.
I would say it's a good mix of both, because I would say that I'm also tend to feel very unstable when I haven't been grateful for the positive experiences in my life. Like if I'm going through like a good thing and it's just like it's very overwhelming, and that like I was like I just have not been grateful for the things that I've been given recently. That's a whole poem right there, and it's out, it's cooking. I also have been trying to make it more of a habit to write when I'm like out and feeling that, as opposed to a reflection afterwards. Because it can be kind of awkward to pull out your phone at the function and start cooking up and be like, guys, I promise I'm not scrolling. I'm literally like writing about how much I love you guys, by the way. But so I have always on me. I'll show you it after, but I have my pocket journal. It's in my holster.
Wait, that's so cute.
And it's very, very small, and I whip that out when I'm like, I need to write something and not be on my phone. Because I do have, the phone comes in useful for certain things, but it's good to have it physical.
Yeah, it's really nice to have something physical to hold on to and write on.
Just when I digitize it, it becomes a whole hassle to like thumb through the pages. I'm like, what date was this written? What's the chronological order of like anything?
So, follow-up question. Is someone in some future time?
Yes, the book. Yes,
the book.
It's my book. Yes, this is my book. This is true.
Are those poems in chronological order?
Yeah, so that's kind of, I think I'm going to continue to do that. Yeah, like the first poem that's in there is the first poem I ever wrote, and it just continues on like that, like progression naturally through time. I think moving them out of order would not make sense, because I think over the course of writing, I change as a person. Yeah. So you wouldn't want mid-senior year Eliza writing with summer after sophomore year Eliza, because those are different people. Yeah. Like I even look back at it now and people are like, I can't wait to read your poetry. And I'm like, I don't know if I would even want to call it mine anymore, because it was mine, but like this is not how I write now. This is not the way that I think now. It's really interesting to look at it. I'm like, I think so differently about a variety of things, and also some things are the same, but I'm like, I don't think I would write this way anymore. Like I think I almost want to go back and like fix it. I want to change it. I'm like, I don't like the way I use this phrase. I would like to change this a little bit. But it would be unloyal to the person that I was at that time. So chronological order I think makes sense. Yeah.
So, and then what inspired you to start poetry? I read your little, like, I guess you'd call it like a book jacket essentially, but the book is digital. So
the book is digital, unfortunately.
But I read you're about the author.
Yes.
Because at bare minimum, I feel like I should do that before an interview. And you mentioned Thoreau's Walden in particular that influenced your work. So tell me about that.
Okay.
Just general. Yeah. Start with the general and then go deeper.
Yeah. I mean, there's 3 things I want to kind of mention here, because I think what made me write my first poem is not what made me the person that identifies with a poet. I wrote my first poem, and I'm gonna tell this story here because I don't. Maybe I'll show this to her later. But I have this friend in my life who I've had for a very long time, and she went by Wynn for a little bit, but her name's Bridget. And we met online, and we've met in person like I believe it was we met in person twice. And I would like to say that we are still really close friends, but we haven't talked, and that's partially my fault because I don't know how to maintain relationships with people.
It's hard
online, because I have a hard enough time with that in person. but
Yes.
I love her very dearly. And she sent me, right about that time, like it was like February of my sophomore year, she sent me her poetry collection. And I forget exactly why. I think I probably asked for it. I was like, I want this. And she sent me like her Google Doc full of poetry, and I was like, so this is awesome, and I want to do this as well.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that kind of like, not to say I stole the idea from my friend, but like, she inspired me. I hope she maybe listens to this. I don't know if I'm going to send it directly, but Bridget, if you are listening, you're awesome, and you still continue to influence my life, and we should hang out in person eventually one day. I know it's really hard to not live in Rhode Island anymore, but yeah. In terms of what kept me like the actual identity stuff, though, I think is where I get into Thoreau. I read Walden over that summer, the summer after sophomore year. I think I initially read it as part of like AP Lit prep, like let me just read like a bunch of classics to like prep for AP Lit and like be really ahead of the curve. It was not that for me though. Mm-hmm. Like Thoreau, not to sound like very classic, like the transcendentalists affect me so much, but like they really do. Like that book, just sitting with Thoreau and his just reflections on nature and the natural world and morals and being grateful for like the sun is rising today and like look at the seasons, the way that they're changing, and this is so special and this is so important, and it's literally so simple. And I was like, wow. Yeah, and it still really sticks with me. I carry that book with me every major move I go on. So it's in New Jersey right now, unfortunately, but I'll go back for it in a couple days. And then I think the second huge influence in my life,
third,
this is true. Thank you for keeping me up to my number pattern. I think I've talked to you about this, but the Chris McCandless Into the Wild.
Yes, you've talked about this a lot.
His Great Alaskan Odyssey.
Yes.
Yeah, there's poems that I will never ever publish ever, where it's like just me writing to Chris, and I'm like, "Are you proud of me?" Because I like to talk to Chris and to Thoreau, and like I'm like, "Hey guys, I feel like I know you a little bit." I mean, which is not true, which is me being parasocial with people who are no longer with us and have books written by them or about them from many decades ago. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I feel very connected with those stories. I want to get them tattooed because they're very important to me.
Yes.
But like when I went to Walden Pond, like it was a very like I would say spiritual experience for me. Mm-hmm. And when I hopefully go to Alaska this summer, I want to go. It will not be a great Alaskan Odyssey because I won't be hitchhiking there and actually properly living out there. I'll probably be doing more in line with tourist activities. Yeah. Which is unfortunate, but what can you do? I don't have
funds.
I recognize that I cannot be Chris in the way that like I can't get up and leave my own ambitions. Mm-hmm. Because I do very much see a future for myself in society, and in changing it. I think he saw himself so disjoint with society that he had to live beyond it. But I'm like, I think unfortunately I need to live in it to change it. Yeah. And I have very strong attachments with people that I don't think I could ever leave. Unfortunately, sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, but we'd be kind of mad if you just.
Yeah, and I don't think, and I respect him a lot for being able to have people who cared about him and leave anyway, but I don't think I have that kind of fortitude. Mm-hmm. And I have a lot going for me, and I think, not that he didn't as well, but I don't know. I'm still excited about where I'm going. And I'm not sure if he felt that excitement about the rest of his life. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know him, but I write to him all the time. Not that he ever answer.
One day he might. We don't know.
See, then that would prove that ghosts are real, and then we'd get into a whole other thing. But yeah, those are my big three influences. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how you pronounce that word.
Yes, it is. Congratulations. You can speak English.
I sure hope so, because I'm a published author.
Yes, you are a published author.
Dude, I don't even like saying that. So I'm like, how is that true? It's low-key not true. It's just like, I'm like, I just made these for fun. And then I paid a lot of money.
Yeah, so can I actually ask more about, like, what was the publishing process? Like, what did you have to do? Like, who did you ask to be like, hey, how do I...
Okay, well, let me give a massive shout out right now. If you're in anywhere in the Rhode Island area, this is really easy to get to. Stillwater Books, West Warwick, Rhode Island, maybe Coventry. It's like, I think it's in West Warwick, but it's like right on the
Yeah,
edge.
like it's right over there. I know where that is.
It's like 50 minutes away. I used to. It's like it's thrifted books. You go there and you buy thrifted books, and I used to go all the time.
Ooh.
And they do publishing services. I remember one day I just walked in and I was like, hey, could I get in contact with you guys for publishing? And they were like, yeah, here's the email. Just reach out with like all your stuff and we'll set up a meeting. And it was like 2 meetings with them and then giving them money, and then that book is out. Like they did all the work. Glaze to Steve and Dawn at Stillwater Books. I love you guys very, very much, and you made my little vision come true. But they literally did everything. I'm like, this is awesome.
Oh, so you basically just had to do the writing the book part and then hand it off.
which was not even that much effort because it just kind of was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's super cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't see my writing. I'm like I didn't write that low key. It just kind of wrote through me. It just kind of happened. I'm like, oh, I made that.
All right. This is running a little bit off topic. We can cut this if we need to.
Okay.
This is more of personal curiosity. Religion? What's up with that?
Dude, don't ask me this question right now because we do not have that kind of time. I've been asked this question like this. I think who'd asked me this question literally this week, and I was like, I'm going to rattle you around like a little because you know what you're asking me this question. I love this question.
But like you write a lot about religion, so clearly you have strong feelings about this.
Yeah. So I think I'm trying to think. When I initially started writing my poetry, like sophomore and junior year, I didn't really have a connection with faith at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest. There's a couple poems in there that I have to say are downright irreverent, which is irreverent. Maybe not downright irreverent, but they're very critical. They're critical of the church.
Okay.
And they're critical of certain patterns that I noticed, which I don't think I was wrong to criticize necessarily, but I don't think I understood fully where I was going faith-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been kind of on this. I think in senior year, it picked up more of like a passive interest, and then like last year, first year of college, I was like, I need something because this is rough.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. I had a great first year.
Yeah, but like there's a lot of stressors.
But there's a lot of new things in my life, and I think I went to the church there a couple times last year, the church in Hoboken Grace. Shout out to them as well. They're really awesome. And I remember like going there and I was like, for the first time since coming here, I finally have found somewhere that is familiar to me. Mm-hmm. Like everything has been so new, which is what I was looking for, which is what I think I need to, like being uncomfortable in new spaces is important. But I was like, this is the first thing that I found that has felt familiar, and it's so comforting to me. Mm-hmm. And then I don't know, yeah, just getting further into that and my ideas around like what constitutes belief, because in a material sense, I believe very much in the laws of physics and the laws of how like how that dictates the universe began. I'm like, this makes sense scientifically, and it makes sense to pursue this scientifically. Mm-hmm. And if you were to ask me fundamentally at the very base of it, do I think things happen for a reason? I'm like, no, and the increasing entropy of the universe and such. Yeah. However, I think, I'm going to be honest, any person objectively really into science like that, like if you're really, really into like scientific materialism is all that there is, I can't imagine them being happy. I'm gonna be honest.
It's hard.
Like even like, cause like the people who are really into science and what started getting me more into like spirituality was like people who would be really into science be like, well, like, I have to believe in the universe is a little bit sentient. And I'm like, you know, I could agree with this, because I think, why not believe that the universe is looking out for you and wants good things for you?
Yeah.
Given, like, you have the choice to believe whatever you want. Why not believe that good things will happen to you because the universe is not uncaring?
Yeah.
Like, you can choose to not believe that, whatever. But, like, it does you no harm to believe that. It actually does you a lot of good to believe that, because it a lot of reassurance and a lot of comfort in your life.
Yeah.
And,
it
like,
ties in a lot into, like, the self-fulfilling prophecy kind of ideology. Where
yeah,
it's just
exactly.
like, if you don't believe that good things will happen, you won't put in the work to make good things happen.
Exactly. By human psychology, like, we are so prone to believe our own deep-rooted beliefs more than what actual reality tells us. So, like, why not make that deep-rooted belief that everything will be okay?
Yeah.
You know? And I think the idea of the universe shifted into the universe is also God. And I think you encountered that a lot in my writing. I write about the universe God with a dash with a hyphen in between.
Yes.
You encounter that a lot. And that kind of just has disappeared over the past couple of years. It was just like, I'm like, I can talk about it as the universe wants these things, but I think I'm just going to talk about it as God wants these things for me.
Yeah.
And then another fun little angle of it is, I wouldn't say that I'm any specific denomination, probably closest to Christianity.
Yeah.
But, like, this summer, going to Turkey and talking with people, like, who practice Islam, I was like, oh, this is awesome. I was like, I feel very, like, also comforted by a lot of the ideas of Islam, just because it's very grounding, and it's a lot more. I think, like, having more restrictions in your life makes it a little bit quieter. Like, I think a lot of modern day Christianity can be very loud.
Yeah.
And I see Islam as a little bit, it's a little quieter, and I think I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of little elements that I also, going to a Muslim country, I was like, this is really nice. Because they say that there's, like, Christian towns in America, but you don't feel it in the way of, like you feel it on maybe a Sunday.
Yeah.
But, like, going to bed every night to the sound of, like, the prayers, I was like, this is really just around.
Yeah.
Like, it's all around. You can't escape it. Like, it's you hear the prayers 5 times a day wherever you are, anywhere in the city. And it's coming from all directions, because there's a mosque here, there's a mosque there. Like, it's completely surrounding you, and I'm like, it's a very powerful thing. And talking to this girl Sama here that I met there, and she was also saying, like Istanbul is not a very, like, Muslim, like, city, in the sense that, like, not even when, like, the okay, let me give some
Yes.
So, by the Quran, there's different interpretations around, like, whether it is haram to listen to music flat out. But it's generally accepted that you're not supposed to listen to any kind of music, have any kind of music playing, when it's the prayer times.
Yeah.
It's like that's you're not supposed to, like, have any kind of outside distraction like that. But in Turkey, like, that's everywhere. Like, you'd hear the sound of the club going while it was the prayer time. So, like, it would be that contrast. And she was like, in Pakistan, it's not like that. Like, you won't get that there. Which, now I want to go to Pakistan.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where I'm at. I think, TLDR. I guess this is TLDL. Don't listen. Too long, don't listen. I think that you choose, people who have belief in faith choose to believe and choose to have faith. And that doesn't make it any less powerful. That actually makes it more powerful. And I think that people should be faithful to something. It does not have to be religion. But I think that religion is a common one. And that's the kind of one I've been lodging myself into lately. And I think it will stay that way for a while.
Yeah. I think if it works, it works. You know?
Like, what are you going to do? Spend the whole rest of your life miserable? And
Yeah, ideally not.
Are you gonna scold religious people for the rest of your life and be like, well, they don't even know, they don't even believe in all this? I'm like, well, are you happy?
Yeah.
Because they seem pretty happy. Not all of them are happy. There are bad churches.
There are some very bad churches out there.
Like et cetera, all the necessary, like, there is nuance to this. Of course, not every single religious person is awesome. Not every religious person is happy. Not every,
But there's more than you think.
But
there are some very loud people who are very angry, but there are also many quiet people who are very happy.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people who are very happy, and there's for every bad church that we have, there is a good church.
Yes.
And it is, I don't know where I'm going with this, but like, I don't know, there's people who find comfort. There's nothing wrong with finding comfort in faith, and it's actually very, very, like, we've been doing it for so long. Like, it's really important to the human experience to find comfort in our own life, because, like, what are you gonna do? Like, think about how small you are, and you're like, nothing I do matters. Like, I can just do whatever. Like I'm like, okay, then run yourself into the ground and, like, don't care about anything. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I found my things, and I continue to find things. Yes. So I think, like, faith is a natural extension of that.
Mm-hmm. So you had said sometime earlier that I'm paraphrasing a bit, but you identify as a poet.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Oh,
what do you mean by that?
Well, I identify with, like, that label. I don't think that it's, I don't know, anyone who writes poetry is a poet. People who don't, I don't know, I refer to everybody as poets sometimes when I write about them. I'm like, everybody's a poet, and not everybody writes. Yeah. But I don't know, I think coming into, I think, yeah, it's what I also, like, say in the title, in the subtitle of the book.
You do say it in the subtitle of your book, so clearly it's important.
An amateur wordsmith and world ender.
Do you know what your intention was?
Well, it's like, the first part of that is easy, right? Amateur wordsmith. Like, I'm learning how to use
poetry
words and with words. Oh. I'm learning how to use words and mess around with words. There we go.
Anything can be bleeped in post.
Okay, I see. But, like, I don't know, I like the world ender part of that a lot, because it also ties into a lot of the stuff I wrote in that first collection of, like, why I'm able to write all this, so why can't the way that I feel physically change the world? Like, why can't I, like, why isn't there earthquakes because I'm feeling this right now? I think, like, literally I'm trying to remember, like, a specific line. One of them just came into my head and then it disappeared, but I think I have in there, like, why can't my love move mountains? Like, the weight of it feels that, like it feels that it should. And I think in writing about, like, your feelings at a certain scale, and the way that, like, your interpretation of the world at like this, through these metaphors, through these very, very large metaphors, I think you do shift, like, the way you're perceiving the world. Like, you are making those. I like to talk about people like they're seismic. Like, you're shaking the earth right now because of how much you've affected people. And I think that in embracing being a poet means that you're embracing the fact that people around you can do that, and that you can also do that. Like, you can feel it. But once again, I think everyone is a poet. Just not everyone writes.
That's a very intriguing philosophy to have.
Yeah, I mean, we're all interpreting the world. Yeah, just not all of us take the time to sit down and put it into weird metaphors and cobble things together, and then think about it afterward and be like, I don't know, what did I even do there? Yeah. Let me put it in a book and publish it. How about that?
Yes. All right. Last but not least, like, if you had to, like, summarize, like, what are the major themes of your writing? What do you tend to focus on and get drawn back to every time?
Do you want me to answer this for the mindset that I was in when I was writing this?
Specifically regarding this book.
For this book, what you will see a lot of is you will see a lot of water metaphors, a lot of ocean.
Yes, that's why you put ocean on cover.
Yes, this is true. I did put ocean on the cover. There's a lot of talk of the sea. There's a lot of talk about sailing. Because I went through a little sailing arc, and I think it's pretty cool. I talk about it now like a little bit too, but it's more in terms of like tides. I've moved away from the ocean a little bit. Sorry, ocean. Love you, ocean. But maybe we'll come back.
Left the ocean state.
This is also true. I don't see her very often. But I used to write about the ocean a lot because I think it's really cool that like the ocean can like, we still don't have control of the ocean. We haven't explored all the ocean. Like you go out there on your little boat in the middle of the ocean, doesn't matter how technologically advanced you are, you're gonna get messed up. Mm-hmm. It will find a way to suck you back down.
Yeah,
it's a good metaphor for like the power of nature. I'm trying to think of other good metaphors in there. Look out for the horse's arc. I talked about horses for a little stint. Yeah, I mean, I can say what the horses mean in this because I doubt unless anyone's a super fan they're gonna come find this. If you haven't figured out the horses yet and you're a big fan, because obviously I have a lot of fans.
You do.
I do not have fans.
I'm right here.
Hi. If you haven't figured out the horses metaphor though, skip this part. I want you to figure it out. But essentially the horses are like, not to be like the horses are dead children, but I mean they do have the dead children in their eyes.
Yeah.
The horses are the innocent victims of war and of tragedy in the world. Mm-hmm. Human-made tragedy. They're like, well, because you think about it, like, you know, when the Romans used to ride into war on their horses, it's like, you know how many of those horses would have got fucked up? Ooh. Yeah, let me restart that. Let me restart that real quick. Yeah. But like the Romans are riding to war on horses. War has been fought on horses for a very long time. It's like, but no one talks about the horses as tragedy because they get forgotten in the scale of the war. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're also like all the civilians that get caught in crossfire. You'll notice that they come up fairly, not to get into this on, I don't know if CCRI will like this very much. I don't know how they feel, but you'll notice that like that metaphor comes up specifically. I guess maybe you wouldn't know this because I didn't put dates on them, but I started writing those kind of horse poetry specifically right after October 7th, like after seeing like what happened, like what was happening in Gaza. I'm like this is what the horses are seeing.
Yeah.
And this is also the horses are seeing it, but the horses also are it. So it's a fun little metaphor.
Yeah, it's metaphorical.
I think there's like 2 or 3 poems that mention the horses and their interactions with me in my life. Trying to think of other metaphors that I also have in there. I don't know. You'll see certain things come up. I talk about the universe God a lot towards the end, which I don't think ever goes away. A lot of nature, but that's just because. Guys,
nature.
Go outside. Go outside, please. We should be writing love songs to birds and to rivers and to outside because the outside is really cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's like the most of it, I think.
Yeah. We'd say the big 3.
The big ones. There's definitely ones I'm forgetting right now, and I'm gonna think about it later and be like, oh, there is one. I talk a lot about. It comes back actually, and the last poem of the collection calls back to this as well. I write about like the lonely stars, about how all people are just lonely stars, like looking for orbit.
Yes.
But this is not something that's gone away. I still write about this a little bit now. Yeah. Yeah,
but that's also, you could argue that's falling under the nature theme.
Yeah, I would say so.
It's just like a very specific metaphor under that theme.
It's more like outer space.
Yeah.
I separate nature, like the natural world, and space because I think of them very differently.
Yeah, they have different feelings to them.
Space is scarier.
It's so big.
But that's where we're all at.
We are all in outer space. That is where we live.
Mm-hmm. This is true.
Milky Way.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what physics and gravity tells us. Gravity is really cool. I don't know if I mentioned gravity in this collection. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like I've talked about gravity with something because I think gravity is really cool.
Gravity is pretty cool.
I love talking about little science concepts as well.
Because you are a little engineer.
This is true. I did not put engineering concepts in this. Do not even catch me having a circuits reference. So the current is actually traveling. No, you will not catch that. For Stephen students, I equals C dv dt. If you know what that means, bless you, twin.
Oh,
It's I equals C dv dt. Guys, say it with me. No, don't want to. And I forgot it on the exam. Oh, whatever.
oof.
I walked out of that exam and I was like, there was no I equals C dv dt, and they were like, yeah, there was. I was like, oh.
Oof.
Oh, I know exactly where I missed it. Whatever. It's fine.
All right, but I think we're going to wrap it up.
Okay.
So thank you so much for swinging by and for talking with me.
I'm very happy to do this. This is really fun for me.
Yes, and talking about your wonderful book.
Yes, because I love to hear myself talk and I love to hear about me.
And we're hearing ourselves right now in our ears.
This whole process has been very odd for me, because people like in my life are like, wow, that's so cool. And I'm like, okay.
We see it as a bigger deal than you do.
Yeah, I think I also, some part of me thought that by publishing it, like nobody would care or also would actually like have it. But now there's like a lot of people who like know. And I'm like, wait, I don't know if I want this. I keep like finding people who have like, oh, I bought your book. I'm like, wait, like, why are you in my head? Like, get out of it.
You're the one who published this.
This is true. This is what needed to happen. But it's a very uncomfortable process of like, that is my most inner thoughts. There's stuff I cut out that was too personal. But
Of course.
my most inner thoughts for a very long time.
And you just kind of like
And
put
now
that.
people like my relatives that I don't talk to about much of anything beyond surface level, God forbid, emotions and experiences, are seeing what I make into that or I make out of that.
Yeah, what's pinging around that brain of yours? And now they know.
I don't know how I feel about that, but I think I have to. It is uncomfortable, but I think feeling uncomfortable is important.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. So, let's do a little bit of advertising. This is on Amazon.
This is on Amazon. Link in my bio, guys. On the gram. The gram.
And what's your Instagram handle?
At Eliza, ELIZA, .Curran, CURRAN, 047.
047. Understood.
Yeah. You guys got that? Just so you can blow me up, you know? 'Cause I
we'll be like, the book is so cool. We love your book.
I also post guitar covers and photography of my friends.
Yes. Yay. Yay.
But yeah.
All right. So let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Well done.
Okay. Thank you.